Hey folks, it's Jim. I wanted to do a video on the gloves that I use. These are called Mad Bike, and there's several reasons why I use these. I have breech gloves for bug out. If you don't know what those are, go look them up. But they're expensive, so Mad Bike comes in at a really good price with this metal coverage here. Remember I was talking about on one of my videos, we're hitting sticks. So you've got coverage on your fingers when they're out on the brakes. We've got coverage on our knuckles that, I mean, hurt bad if you ever get a limb slamming on those. And that's why I got those brush guards as well for the handlebars. And then we've got our knuckles covered, which really hurts too when you get a limb. It'll draw blood when a limb hits, your front knuckles. So I wanted to share that. Then over here on the thumb, we've got a skid plate as well. But something that's really neat too, one of the guys did a review. He went down on his bike at like 60 miles an hour and slid, and where you tear your hand up on a motorcycle on the road is right here, right? Because that's where you brace to go down. So right where everybody puts their hand down, they've made this skid plate that really will save a lot of thrashing on your hands. And because I ride pretty aggressive in the mountains, that's why I went with these. And then if you'll notice this glare of this rubber tack texture that's on the palm, okay, it's just a bunch of lines of textured type of rubber material on the palm. So when you're up working that hard and riding that hard for a workout, you start sweating. So I have to have a glove that will remain sticky to the handlebars and the grips on the RADRover, right? So I just wanted to show this. I guess it's ILMOTOR, okay, by this ILMOTOR, right? Power sports gear, it's the Mad Bike glove, and the motorcycle riders out there have been reviewing these and talking about them, so that's why I went with them. And it gives me coverage everywhere I need, because I use breech gloves for my bug out, but I certainly don't want to thrash my breech gloves and tear them up riding a bike all the time with them, right? So these are a great alternative, low cost, but yet give me wonderful protection on my mountain riding. And even on street riding, I don't know if you'd want these particular ones for street riding. It's a little overkill. But having this, if you're on the road, on your road gloves, folks, that's a must. It's just going to save you so much grief having that ability to protect your hand right where everybody. This is what we do when we fall, don't we? Hand goes down, and listen, right where the hand's going down, where I'm going to protect myself, I'm hitting solid, this rubberized compound, whatever it is, and then it's got those skid balls. So it's going to prevent, and even when we do slide, like on a motorcycle, we've got enough here that it's going to grind that down and save our hand a bit, right? If not completely, like the guy who went down at 60 does a video on YouTube explaining that. So I just wanted to share that with you as well. It's a nice looking glove, looks kind of futuristic or whatever, but I could care less about that. What I needed was the coverage in all these areas. And let me tell you, this right there, man, doesn't that save your knuckles when a limb comes slapping over your bike like it does, you know what I mean? If you're mountain riding, and if you get off the trail just a little bit on a hard corner or something, or they haven't cleaned the trail, it's a new trail you don't know, you're getting slapped by a limb, man, doesn't this really, I'm so happy with these, I'll tell you that. And now that I got those limb deflectors on the front, or the brush guards on the front, I'll give those a shot too this year. But I've been riding with these, and it's not just because of that. They're comfortable, they fit well. This is an adjustable Velcro strap, right? And this tack here gives me great grip in the summer as well when I'm riding, and you're getting sweaty, right? So I need full control of that bicycle when I'm going downhill at about 25 miles an hour. and you don't want to be slipping on your handlebars, you know what I mean? So it gives me that additional tack. They're low cost. Yes, they're made in China, I know, but you know, it's a decent piece of gear that guys on motorcycles have been raving about, and they work great for my Rover, giving me the mountain bike protection. If you notice, mountain bike riders, pro riders, wear a glove that is very protective of their fingers, depending on what they're riding. If they're doing trail riding, is a lot different than when they're on a cleared racing trail, okay, where it's a circuit. But when they're doing trail riding and training, they have gloves that protect their fingers as well, because it hurts, man. You can break your fingers. You can, you know, at 20 and 30 miles an hour, you can break a finger easy. And not only that, but when a limb hits your knuckles, man, you're bleeding. That's all there is to it, you know. So having this protection, you know, in these critical points, you know, when you're out over the brake, look at these. Perfect for when my fingers are out over the brake, to help deflect that energy when a limb hits my hand. And then these knuckles, when I'm on the handlebars, excellent position for that. And this just slides whatever limb over up into my arm. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share that with you, and it gives you thumb side protection too as well, depending on how you're riding. Sometimes you can kick a limb up, at least on dirt bikes. I've kicked limbs right up straight through my handlebars. You know, thank God I had a helmet too. And when you're ATVing, same thing, right? So just wanted to share that with you. It's a great glove. I like it. They seem to be lasting. So I'm going to give them a good review. If you don't like these, find something out there that you do like. There are cheaper and more expensive versions. I went with a mid-range version just because I like it. And it gave me the protection that I needed where I needed it. But there are many other things out there. And like I said, you can buy breech gloves, which I have for bug out, but I'm certainly not going to use my breech gloves for regular riding, okay? It's just not, I'm not going to wear them out. They're too costly, because those are fireproof and cut resistant. So, you know, Kevlar and fireproof materials and so forth. But there you go, the Mad Bike. You know, mountain biking gloves from ILMOTOR. So I hope, yeah, you enjoyed this video. And if you hadn't found a pair of gloves like this, think about it, because that alone, that protection when you go down, that's right where you put your hand down to protect yourself when you fall. Go out and read reviews about bikers and motorcyclists that will tell you how much grief that saved them. Jim out.